Come on in. Good morning and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. I am so excited to welcome you to spring snow in Colorado here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in not so sunny, kind of snowy Fredrick. So today we have a special treat. We're looking at a 4559 special order. It's destined for Florida, so it's only appropriate that she gets her one day in the snow. My name's Katie O'Neill. I'm coming to you live. My number is 303-562-8659. Again, 303-562-8659. Please feel free to reach out to me during this video. We're shooting live today, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about this special order unit. So Jody, as usual, please go ahead and take her on back. Today is really special because I've got a family that is, oh shoot, my reserve sticker's on the back of my clipboard. I've got a special family that's come out from Florida, and what's really fun about this video is that they actually watch a lot of our videos, and that's how they found me. They knew that I had a Superstar, and we decided that it would be really great to help them make a custom Superstar. So this 4059 is a 40-foot model. It's 40 feet 10 inches long, and it's got some really cool special features that are now available. So for instance, as you can see, this two-tone cabinetry, we've got this beautiful sable maple high gloss cabinetry paired with the Summit high gloss cabinetry, really giving you for this very open, beautiful feeling in this bathroom. So of course you've got tons of cabinet space in here. The 4059 is definitely our #1 selling floor plan at this point in time. Some of the cool features that you'll notice is that with this interior, we have this beautiful backsplash. Now, keep in mind, this 2025 is paired with the Ventana. This is the interior you'll only see moving forward in 2026 in the Supreme Air line, so it's no longer going to be in the Superstar line, but you can special order things like this tile into your coach. Another beautiful feature here that comes out of the Ventana is this vessel sink. I love the high polished chrome tied in with this really nice tile, this beautiful countertop. And we are looking at a coach that we ordered probably about December. So it's delivering here in April. That's a pretty good timeline, about 4 months from order to delivery, which is pretty quick. Now in the 4059, one of the best features of it is this great shower. You've got the skylight overhead giving you a little extra natural light. Again, really cool faucet set. Nice overhead shower faucet. Now keep in mind, this coach has the Shower Miser or AquaView water management system. What this is going to do is it takes your 105 gallons of fresh water and it heats it and puts it back into that freshwater tank if you're boondocking. All you have to do is switch this over here to recycle, and it starts to recirculate that water through your Oasis system, which is your tankless hot water heater, and it warms it so that when you see this light turn red, it's time to go ahead and turn that shower on, and you'll know that you don't have to waste your gray water capacity. Now this has got a 65-gallon gray water tank, a 40-gallon black water tank, a 100-gallon fuel tank, a 150-gallon freshwater tank. So all of those things being said, when you pair that with the ability to preheat your water, you can really get out there and stay on the road for quite a long time. Now, one of the best features, of course, of this coach is going to be all of the storage here in the bathroom. So you've got these really nice soft close drawers. This coach will be for a family of 3. I've got mom and dad, and then mom. So there's 3 people that will be cohabitating in this RV. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of extra storage back here for hanging. There's also a lot of storage down here underneath this hidden pocket. So if you want to put in things that you're not using as frequently, maybe you know, winter garb, maybe your hiking boots, whatever it is, that will all fit down there into that pocket. And then here we have these nice individualized drawers, and what's so cool about these is they're really deep, they're really big. So if you had 3 people in here, each person could have one drawer that has maybe underwear, socks, things that you need to get on before you come out of the bathroom area, so that you can be kind of dressed in advance of departing. That way you're not walking into that bedroom in your skivvies. And there's that 4th drawer. Another great feature of this coach, of course, is going to be that we did order in the Splendid washer and dryer stack. And I think one of the things that's really neat about this coach also is that we were able to do a lot of cool specials. So you'll notice that we have things like the Splendid washer and dryer, not a standard feature, but we didn't opt to add, for instance, the central vac or the dishwasher. So we can really help you customize and cut out those things that add extra expense to a coach that you may or may not need. Now this is going to be the cushion for the convertible booth dinette. It's a standard dinette that comes on the Superstar. We have our fantastic egress window or egress door here. Now people always ask me, what good is this? Well, it's really cool because if you have your linens and things at the end of your camping trip and you want to drop everything out to clean up, very easy to open that rear door. Somebody asked yesterday about how the toilet was in front of it. There's a ladder, but if there's an emergency and you really need to get out, this would be a much easier emergency exit to, just go over the toilet to exit, as opposed to jumping out of a window head first, like the one you'll see in the bedroom. Let me just snag this really quick. Okay, so robe hook, of course, is super important to me. And then another feature you're going to find moving forward in the 2025 and 2026 products are these panels on the wall. So as you can see your tank level, you can control your HVAC, you can put your TV lift up, all of these things from each one of these panels throughout the coach. So very convenient. This Dometic flush is so nice. It actually glows so that you can see what's going on at night. And then of course we've got this great little towel rack, but most importantly, nice separation from the potty and the shower in this 4059 floor plan. So the fact that they can actually make this separate space in such a small area just speaks to the ingenuity of Newmar and their creativity in using the full breadth of what they have here in this footprint. Now, one of the special orders that we wanted to have here, if you watched my 2025 Mountain Air video a few weeks ago, we did all Summit cabinets in the bedroom to make it brighter. For Jerry, he wanted to have it, a little bit darker. So as opposed to brighter, we went with the Summit on the top here. And then we actually subbed out and replaced the Summit cabinets that would normally come in the two-tone package above the bed. So you can really go either direction with this. Of course, their thought process is you want to have it dark. It's your bedroom. This is where you're sleeping. You don't want it to be super bright in the morning. Of course, you still have your MCD day and night shades on this coach, so you can black this out pretty darn well. And up above we have, of course, the two 110 outlets, the carpet lined storage space up above, and then the grommets that come down along with your reading lights above each person in bed. So in this coach you could run a CPAP machine from above, or if you would prefer, you can run it from below. Let me show you how. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of room on either side of this bed. We have a Type-C, a USB, and two 110 ports in these outlets these days. So that started in 2025. And then you'll also notice that we have here our, oh, my tire pressure monitor sensor is going off because it's cold. Sorry, I heard a beeping up front. We have a great place to keep your water bottles. So of course, when you go ahead and you pack up and you're getting ready to hit the road, what's the one thing you want to do? You want to put everything down away into storage, but you don't want to have to go searching for it later. So you can store your cords underneath here. You can store your water bottles underneath here. You have all of this storage space here underneath the bed. So very easy to keep, for instance, mops, brooms, things along those lines. And then these are the window coverings for the front of the Super C in the sleeping area. Now I would recommend doing a double dose of coverage in that front section just to keep the heat out, to be honest with you. There's a Mylar backed rollout shade that they make for all of these M2 106 Plus chassis by Freightliner. You get those from Heat Shield, for instance. That's a great company, and those, in addition to this curtain, will really give you a nice amount of cool during the summer, during those hot months. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's an emergency exit also in this bedroom, and as you can see, you can pop this open so you can have some fresh air coming through, so you can have 3 points of window open in this bedroom area. But if you wanted to escape, it would certainly probably be a little easier to go down that ladder than jump out this window. Now, as far as wardrobe space goes, As I mentioned, family of 3, you got plenty of room for everybody can have their own closet. Mom, of course, gets the biggest one. We know how that works. And then you have all of the drawer space. So this is one of the smaller drawers. This is one of the larger drawers. You're going to have 3 large drawers, 2 smaller drawers, and I love the way that they come out past this wardrobe so that you can have access to them. And then here underneath, we have our video closet. Now keep in mind, this coach does not have Starlink on it. This coach does not have Wi-Fi on it. They're going to run a portable Starlink, just a home type of system with Roam underneath the coach, so they don't have that roof-mounted Starlink. These are all places where you can either add costs up front, have them installed at the manufacturer level, or if you think that you've got a better solution, for instance a portable Starlink, you don't have to have that extra cost if you don't need a roof-mounted unit. So for this family, the television on the road is really not an important thing, so they're able to save in that. That being said, you're still going to have all of your TVs are going to be high definition 43-inch flat screens, or in the front a 50-inch TV, but you'll have the ability to watch Hulu, Netflix, whatever it is if you have Wi-Fi. You can also order a traveler system for either Dish or DirecTV. We tend not to load those onto these coaches any longer because everyone's so specific in their use and preference. They're very easy to add here at the dealership. Another thing that we've added to this coach that we're not making use of currently is this coach is solar prepped. So it doesn't have solar panels on it. If they would like to install them in the future though, very easily, because this coach is solar prepped, they can do that. Another place to save, they had the Dometic refrigerator from their Dutch Star that they traded in. They didn't really need to have another Dometic refrigerator on this coach. So we ordered this coach with a special where they pre-wired and installed the tray only without the refrigerator. So again, all of these really fun cost-saving mechanisms are available to you if you've got just a little bit of time and you're willing to work with someone who understands how to really specialize and make a coach unique. Now you'll see here we've got this full wall slide which goes all the way down from the front to the rear. In 2026, this will not have carpet. It will become more of a vinyl material. But in 2026, in order to get this finished, you'd also have to go into that Supreme Air level. It will not be available in the Superstar. So there's pluses and minuses to getting a 2025 versus a 26. If you haven't been to TTTRV to see all of our videos from the 2026 dealer show down in Colorado Springs, I highly recommend go onto YouTube, find TTTRV, or find me at RVs Inside Out, or just simply call me. There's a picture of my clipboard without my my reserved sticker on the back of it. Thank you, Jody. Jody's always helping me out behind the scenes. He's so good at this hidden communication. But as we go into this front galley area, you'll see one of the benefits of having this two-tone cabinetry. Look at how beautiful, light, and bright this is with this Summit high gloss finish. It is so open and airy up here, and it's also so tuxedo. There's so much drama in adding this beautiful sable maple cabinetry down below in this kitchen. And I absolutely adore the backsplash. I love that light and bright kitchen that everyone's looking for. So another feature about this coach, and you'll see why I'm wearing such a goofy dress this morning. Well, I shouldn't say the goofy dress. It's probably more the moon boots, but today is choose your era day. So I chose the decade of 1970 with, of course, the moon boots. But it only seemed appropriate because it's snowing, so it was kind of fun to be able to bust them out. Plus, I really match the exterior of this coach. So this special paint job that you see here is really going to fit in very well in Florida. This is a coastal baby. She's going to be up and down. Saphira is her name. She will be up and down the Florida coast, living in the sun, and she looks like she belongs on the beach. We can really hone in and get this customization that really makes this coach yours. And I love showing that to people on these videos. Now here we have our Whirlpool 3-door refrigerator. I almost called it a microwave, I swear. With the charcuterie door. Also, you've got a great place to store your Prosecco, right? And then all of your storage here on the doors as well. Little things like this, which give you just a better access point, are things that make this refrigerator so nice. And this refrigerator in the Whirlpool is used throughout the Newmar product line. One of the things that's nice about that is if you think about it down the road looking for something that may be a little bit harder to find versus something that you see in a majority of the coaches, I think it would be a much easier refrigerator if you needed to replace it in the future. And yeah, I know no one wants to talk about that, but after 10 years or so, sometimes it's time to get new appliances, and if they're easily rot, it's great. This refrigerator comes with a water dispenser on the door and a water filter inside for not only the door water, but also for your ice. That paired with your whole house water filter, of course, gives you double filtration, and it also allows you not to carry your Brita, which is super nice. As I mentioned earlier, they do have their outdoor Dometic refrigerator and freezer, but this has an ice tray in here and a ton of storage. If you're not looking to take up the extra space in those bays, you can go ahead and omit that from your coach. Okay, so I didn't see the central vac on the build sheet, but it's here. I'll have to go back and double check and make sure it's not standard in 2025. It may be, it's awfully handy. But what is standard in 2023 moving forward is this nice 10-inch panel where you can control the coach from inside of the coach or on your phone. So you can see all of your HVAC settings, you can see what your batteries are doing. This coach has an optional lithium-ionics package available to it. This is just running on those 8 AGMs. You can set up your generator so that you have your quiet time and your start-stop automatically set. All of these things can be done here, and then here at your home screen, Jody, go ahead and pan over here to the TV area. I'm going to go ahead and put that TV up. So you can see you've got lots of big, bright window space available, but you can put your television up from multiple touchpads throughout the coach. And again, this is a big flat screen unit. It's a 50-inch smart TV that you can use with any of the apps that you have. And honestly, this is very much like the setup I have in my Superstar. I've got the booth opposing the couch, very similar layout. I have a bunk model in 2022, but I'll use this TV screen to do all of my Peloton weightlifting classes right here because I've got so much room in the center of this coach. Now, another feature I want to point out, and this is a great opportunity because I've got muddy boots on, if you can see, this floor has lots of movement in it. It's going to be very easy to take care of. This is a standard floor for the Ventana and Superstar level. So you don't have to always special in wood grain floor from a King Air. There's a lot of nice tiles here, and if you're not necessarily into the wood grain, we can help you identify other things. Now, as we move into the kitchen, I want to point out that this microwave is vented to the outside of the coach. So that was a special feature that we have, but when you're spending a lot of time in your coach, if you're microwaving things and you want it not to blow back into the coach, or if you want to be able to use the vent to vent outside, you can have it vented so that it's not recirculating back into the RV. Another nice feature of the Newmar Superstar, and anything really all the way up through, starting in the Essex line, we'll either move to a Bosch or a Viking cooktop. But when you're in London Air all the way through now to even Northern Star, you can get this removable true induction cooktop. This is so cool. If you take this outside, I don't know if anybody's ever been camping when it's a little bit gusty and that Coleman's just not getting things hot. You can literally take this outside, and because it's magnetic, you can actually get that same consistent heat regardless of altitude. So sea level or 14,000 feet, and you can set it to, for instance, 360 degrees is perfect for a fried egg, and you can have it be perfect everywhere you are, regardless of the wind. Now, I liked it so much I actually bought an outdoor 2-burner induction cooktop for my outdoor barbecue at home. It has the wind guards on the side of it. So there's a bunch of cool things out there, but I love the fact that Newmar integrates this into a position where you can put your cutting boards, for instance, on top of your stovetop, so you still have room for prepping while you have your cooktop outside where you're sauteing the onions and getting everything ready for your steaks, right? So as mentioned earlier, this does not have the dishwasher in a drawer. They would prefer to have all of this drawer space. And look at how much drawer space you get without that dishwasher. So of course, that would occupy this cabinet right here. And then of course, you always get your standard silverware drawer along with, you know, for me, I've got my cook pads or whatever they call them, hotsy things, spatulas and all of that I have over here in these drawers. Same with, you know, bottle openers, all the stuff that you need in the kitchen. Plenty of room for those, you know, silicone tongs, your barbecue gear. You know, just really a ton of really nice kitchen space. And as you can see, these are all solid maple, soft closed drawers, and that high gloss sable is just gorgeous. You have your scrubby drawer here. And then under here you have the world's smallest trash can. Now I took a normal trash can, and it's about this, you know, look at how much taller it could be in a normal trash can. And I actually cut the top of it off, and I use this in the stoolroom. So I'll show you how I would use that. But lots of room for storage underneath, and there are 2 points of entry. So you have another drawer here if you want to get to your cleaning supplies, maybe your Clorox wipes and things like that. Or if you want to have a little extra counter space, you've got that here. Now another great feature of this coach is going to be that we have these beautiful deep basin sinks in these Newmars. So if you like a nice single basin sink, this dark stainless undermount sink with a beautiful spray and pour faucet head is just absolutely decadent. Tons of room there to do all of the dishes. I would keep a silicone basin in here to do all of my washing with soapy water, and then I would rinse on the other side. But you have lots of flexibility. Up here is where we keep our coffee pot and our French press, keep our balsamic and our olive oil over here. So really a lot of room in this coach. And by removing the dishwasher, you don't have to keep your pots and pans up here where I keep mine. So here we have a lot of room. I don't even know what you would use this for without having to have all of your, I have salad bowls, pots and pans, everything up here in these cabinets, and then I have board games over here at the end. But as you can see, tons and tons of room. Now we did order this with the couch because, as I mentioned, it is room for 3. So let me just show you how this looks when we convert it. So this is a full hide-a-bed. This is not a 3-piece convertible. This is actually the full hide-a-bed, and it's really nice because it's super comfy. And if you have company, or in this case mom is camping with you all the time and you guys kind of, you know, are your group, this is just a great way to be able to have a comfortable sleeping environment for everybody. So you've got that big 72 by 80 king bed in the master, and then you've got this really nice full-size queen bed here up front. And as you can see, it's a really, really generous amount of space. Now this memory flex mattress will actually inflate as it's used more frequently. But as you can see, it's really comfortable. I don't know, you can't see that. I can just tell you, there are mattresses in this world that are not well made. This is a nice, comfortable, soft mattress. It's still got a pretty firm support to it, but I think that you would find that you can't feel like all the ridges. It feels like a normal bed would feel. And that the trifolds, to be honest with you, are pretty darn cool. But this would be nice because you could actually keep your sheet, your fitted sheet on top, and then just fold up your blankets when you're ready to get back on the road and store it away. You'll also note that it's nice. I can leave the pillows in place, so my sleeping pillows won't slide out underneath. Now there are 3 seat belts here, as well as 2 in the front. And then one of the cool features of this coach, and it's certainly not, Saphira will not be utilized for babies sleeping in the booth or for rear-facing car seats, but I'll show you how you could do that in this RV in case you wanted to buy one of these maybe and you had a little or two that needed to have a car seat. So the table, we saw the cushion in the back there in the bathroom, converts into a rear-facing, or it converts into about a 60 by 42-inch bed. But when you put this down, if you wanted to have this all the way down and underneath the cushions, not for sleeping purposes, but for a rear-facing car seat, there's a lap belt underneath this side of the coach, right there. So you could actually put a rear-facing car seat underneath this booth set right here, which is super nice for people who have littles. If you don't, or even if you do, you have plenty of storage underneath here. This is actually where I keep all of my plates, all of my bowls. It's right next to the table that you're setting when you're going to sit down to dine. So I don't know why you would keep them anywhere else. I think it's great that they're nice and low. Somebody did tell me the other day she was not going to bend over to pick up her plates. And I was like, okay, I get that. I'm short, so I don't have far to reach. But great place to keep all those things. And then I keep my placemats and napkins over here on the other side. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this coach has these really cool touch pads. So from anywhere in the coach, I can go ahead and go to home and just put my TV lift back down. So you can see all of that beautiful snow coming down in the background. We're on our trailer side today. We're putting in solar panels across the street. So we're shooting from where we normally shoot our horse videos, or horse trailer videos, I should say. For those of you who haven't tuned into TTTRV, we do videos 5 days a week. We do a horse trailer, a truck, and an RV. And man, we got a lot of videos out there for people learning about cool stuff. And this coach, honestly, the Super C was born from this division here at Transwest. The Superstar was born upstairs, right up the stairs from my office, with the Newmar team in conjunction with our general manager Andrew Lyons, because we carry Renegade, and we had people who wanted a higher end horse trailer pulling machine. So this coach is really designed for a bumper pull horse trailer. It's got a 20,000 pound towing capacity. So if you had a nice 6-horse and this RV, you could be the belle of the ball, any arena side at any rodeo or equestrian event. So it's appropriate that we're shooting this video here because this is really one of the reasons that we see this product available on the marketplace from Newmar. Now, of course, plenty of storage up here, just little things, you know, probably like your candles, maybe your decorations, your fake flowers. We have a nice sound bar. This was improved a few years back. It's great for surround sound with your TV. And then over here above the door, we have all of the controls for the coach. So you've got your HWH hydraulic leveling jack system. This is also the system that operates your very nice 3-step stair system. You've got all of your slide controls. This coach has the optional security lights as well. And then as you can see here, we have all of our controls for battery disconnect, entry lock and unlock. This is for the bay storage unlock. And then this little guy here really differentiates this product. This is something that we have because of our Class A segment. They always have a step cover, but this step cover, if you've got dogs, in this case, this couple has dogs and cats and moms that are going to be traveling down the road for you, a great way to make sure that they're not going to get injured while you're going down the road by falling into that little hole. So we love that. They ordered the optional Winegard razor antenna, and then as you can see up here, it says Solar Prep in the corner. Here at Transwest, we install a lot of Starlink. We install special ports and bays underneath. I've got clients that have done 2 Starlinks, one that's roof mounted, and then one that's designed to actually run out from under the coach in case they're camping somewhere where they're covered by a dense canopy of trees. We install solar panels. We do 190 watt panels. We can do 4 or 5 of them on top of a coach. If we did just 3, you'd have more wattage than you would get from the Newmar solar package that's offered standard. Now in 2026, they did move to a 120 watt Merlin panel, but 3 190 watt panels is still going to be better than 4 of those Merlins. So prepping is something that we do quite frequently, and we do a lot of this install. We do cradle points here. In fact, I'll show you the tire minder system we installed to this M2 106 Plus chassis. But we do a lot of cool stuff here at this dealership. And what I've realized is that not all dealerships are the same, because I'll call a local store for a client that has ordered a coach for me that maybe lives in Pennsylvania or Florida, and I'll talk to the service department and say, hey, I need to have this done, and they're not familiar. So one of the best benefits you have of buying a Superstar, but any RV from Transwest, is that we have house and chassis service departments both on site, but we are also very familiar with all of the different add-ons that can come onto a coach. So if you buy a used coach that doesn't have solar, that's not a problem. If you buy a used coach that doesn't have an underground refrigerator, that's fine. If you find one in inventory that has the wrong couch, we can put recliners into it. for you. So we're very handy with those things, and I think that that's an important thing to keep in mind when you're shopping. And we're also right in the middle of the most beautiful part of the country, so we're really close to, you know, places like Tiger Run, Montana. You can go see Mount Rushmore on your way home, whatever it may be. So this is a great place not only to buy your coach, but to take delivery of it, because we have you camp on site. This couple is going to be here with their mom, staying in the coach overnight. They're probably leaving on Easter Sunday, so they'll be here for a night or two, and then they're going to head out to California. So this is kind of halfway from Florida to California for them. So they're actually starting their trip a lot closer to their end goal. And then of course they'll circle back and end up at home eventually. But you know, like I said, lots of good reasons to buy from this organization. On-site camping, people like Bill Habercorn for support, people like Marlon to teach you how to use stuff. Now this pantry is huge. This was originally a 4051 when they first launched this product. It had a cabinet up here in the front. When you slam the brakes on, if you didn't have it locked, stuff could just go flying out. This is a great solution to this, giving you, I mean, you got 7 total drawers, and these are, like you can see, super deep pocket, easy to access. You can really get a lot of stuff into this pantry, and you don't have to use it all for canned goods and foods. I mean, you could use it for cleaning supplies or the like if you needed to, but you really don't, because you got a lot. Oh, can we get Jody in here? You know what I noticed, you guys, and I think you should put comments down below. Jody has been dodging my mirror shots. I went back and watched a video where I closed the door last time, and he just stood, like he is right now, artfully, just off to the left so you can't see his handsome mug. I think y'all should complain, because we all want to see more of Jody on camera. He's a good-looking guy, but he has been dodging my mirror shots, I've noticed. So here underneath in the center, or here underneath, up top in the center, as you can see, we've got all of our circuit breakers, some extra fuses. Everything is just tied in so nice and tidily. I see other coaches coming through, and I'm always impressed with the build quality of the Newmar and how nice they make them. And I want you to note that I'm sitting here inside without the lights on. So I've got touch sensors here, so I can turn my lights on and off. I can turn my vanity on and off. I can turn my water pump on and off. I could turn this down so that it wouldn't glow at night if I wanted to leave the door open, or I could have it on different levels of brightness so that I can see in here. If I've got littles, for instance, that were sleeping and needed to be able to find the potty. And as I mentioned earlier, with all of this storage here, I don't know that you would need to use the pantry for anything other than pantry, because there's so much space in here for towels. You know, you got your, you know, bug spray, all of your suntan lotion, and then there's that beautiful Summit just giving you that extra little bit of bright in this area. And as you can imagine, like, this white cabinet really does open up and brighten up this area. And then more storage down here below, plenty of room for some extra TP, maybe some tank stuff to use for your black water tanks. And then as you can see here, with having the mirror here, when you're getting ready to leave for the day, oh, there, I got him. I got him, guys. Bam! You can make sure you're dressed to the nines. Okay, so that's covering a lot of the interior of the coach. Let's go ahead and sojourn up front. One of the things I wanted to mention to you today is that we have our TPMS sensor on here. So of course in 2024, they upgraded this M2 106 chassis to the M2 106 Plus. One of the nicer features is that it comes with a tire pressure monitoring system on the RV itself. It is not expandable. So here at the dealership, I had my friend Ron install this very nice tire minder system, and he has this attached to their tow vehicle. We are also installing a full tow package on their Ram. As you can see, this goes into the cigarette lighter. You don't have to have it out if you're not using it, but if you want to be able to monitor your Ram to make sure you're not blowing a tire, we've got that system set up here. You'll see that they've got a much bigger camera system than they used to have here, and we did opt in for the 360 camera option on this coach. Of course, this is handy in that, I don't have I'm not in reverse, but this is handy in that if you are using your RV, you can see not only your camera system, but you can also see whatever you've got going on here on the left-hand side. So if you were, for instance, you know, watching or listening to a book on tape, you could go through your media stuff and still have your cameras on. So this is an improvement on this coach. I still am a fan of adding a dedicated Voyager system, a rear view monitor that's up here. I've put it in quite a few coaches. If you look up into your rear view mirror, you're usually looking here, but if you can see up here into a pretty big monitor and watch what's going on behind you, I think it's pretty convenient. That's something else that we could certainly do for you in your RV. Now you'll notice one of the big improvements of the M2 106 Plus chassis is going to be the fact that we can go through and see things like how fast we're going. We can take a look again at our tire pressures and make sure everything seems to be on point. We can also see whether or not we need to get an oil change. So all of these things are here in this integrated dash, as well as an ability to answer and hang up your phone and search through your stations and turn your volume up and down. Another improvement that we have on this chassis is that we have the engine brake is going to be high, medium, and low. So you have a 3-stage engine brake on this coach, and you have stock control. So for drive or reverse, everything is right here. You just twist a button and then you can go ahead and throw it in neutral. You can also shift into a mode that is going to be, how shall we say, manual. So if you're going up a steep traverse and you want to lock into a lower gear to get that better pull, you could do that in this coach. You would only use that going up hills. You would use your engine brake going downhill. And this is an 8.9 liter ISL, so this has a true engine brake. It's not just a turbo-based brake. You also see we have our intermittent and high windshield wipers here, as well as the spray feature. And then you got all of your turn signals right here as well. So very easy to use, but updated system here for you in this new M2 106 Plus chassis. Also, we still have our great air horn. You've got heated and power mirrors, and you've got power windows and power door locks. And then also you have an adjustable telescopic adjustable telescopic mirror. Jody, seriously, it must be Monday. Wait, it's Friday. Oh, speaking of which, I'm going on vacation, so I won't see you Monday. Todd Thornton is going to do my Monday video. I'm doing his Friday video today. So yeah, I'm going to go hiking in the redwoods. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay, so this air ride seat, if I have it on air ride, you would just use it like this. I can't literally touch the floor, so I have to put like a footrest underneath. But you do have air ride seats, and these seats do swivel and turn around. They're not at all like a Class A recliner though. They don't have the footrest that pops out. They are really comfortable. They do have a nice adjustable armrest on either side, so getting down the road, super comfy. Great cab. I mean, I've really enjoyed mine. A lot of people ask me what I think about the difference between a Super C and a Class A. One of the big differences, of course, is that this feels much more like a truck. It is literally like vacuuming the highway. It is crazy how well these track down the road. That being said, this coach has a 345-inch wheelbase. That is super long, so it may take you a few more attempts to get into that parking space when backing in. And when you're going through those mountains, if you've got switchbacks, you've got to make sure you can make those turns. So these are things that you really want to consider when you decide between a Super C and a Class A. And the first thing I say to everybody, when Jerry and I'm trying not to say the family's names, so when they called about Severe and told me that they wanted to order a Super C, the first thing that I said was, have you driven a Class A? And they're like, we have a Dutch Star. Yeah, we have one. We want a Super C. And I said, perfect. But I always ask that question because if you haven't driven both, you guys are spending a lot of money. Come see me. We can go out there. We can go on more than one test drive. If you want to test drive a Super C and a Class A and you're not quite sure and you need to do it again, we can go back out on the road and do it again. I really want you to make sure you get that feel. You practice your turning radius. You try backing into spots. You do all the things that are affiliated with driving this coach. They're expensive. You should be able to test drive. You should be able to compare models. You should be able to special order and not just buy what I have on the lot. This is my fourth delivery this week. Most of the coaches that I'm delivering are coming from videos. So people from Idaho, people from Florida, You know, it's really important. Ohio, you know, the reason that we're successful here is because we really accommodate the client. We make sure you get what you need so that you don't have to do the 1, 2, 3 RV rule. Buy one that you keep for a really long time, save a lot of money. It's a great idea. And I'm happy to help you get there. I'll challenge you, I'll ask you lots of hard questions. Now these cubbies, except for this one, which has a JBL in it, I don't know if I would use that for keeping a bunch of crap in. Maybe some books, maybe like a bird guide or something, maybe my binoculars. But these cubbies are so fantastic to assign to people. Like if you find someone's AirPods just like hanging out, you just throw them in there. Hey, they're in your cubby, you know, all of those things. And then as you can see up here, you've got plenty of room for sunglasses, all the things that you're gonna need going down the road. And then another one just for the driver. And then another huge cubby once again. And on the note of owner support, so here we see a picture of Darian Todd. She is the superstar support person, right? Superstar and Supreme. But really important to note, we have a guy named Bill Habercorn who works here. He is a genius when it comes to RVs. He's what I call the RV everything man. He knows everything about these coaches. He can really help you to stay on the road and camping. And his whole job, like literally 365 days a year, he takes Sundays and Saturdays off unless it's a true emergency. But his whole job is literally to make sure he's answering questions for you while you're camping. And I gotta tell you, he does take calls on Saturday. I wouldn't try to reach out to him unless it's an emergency, because those are the 2 days that he has off during the week. But if it's an emergency, he'll answer his phone, he'll reply to your text, and he'll keep you on the road. And that is a service you get if you buy a coach from either our Fredrick location or our Grand Junction location here at Transwest. We also have a Belton location. I'm not sure if they have their own Bill Habercorn, but if they don't have one, they should get one because he is invaluable to us. Now I have this partially deployed here just so you can see how dark you can make it up here in the front. So if I do shade down, you can completely cover that sky window. But if you open it up, it really just gives you so much more light in this coach. And that's one of the things that we really take pride in Newmar, is these big dual pane windows, lots of visibility. This coach is built with 16 on center framing. And what that means is every 16 inches at a maximum, so it'll never be over 16 inches, you have aluminum C channel with little holes in it. It's called C because it looks like a C. And even the channels are set inside of aluminum on these very robust slides with the ability to run wires through them so you can wire the entire coach. And then they use batt insulation in this coach and adhere the fiberglass to the outside. So this coach, if you have an oopsie, is repairable. That's very different than anyone who's using a foam sidewall. The other difference in it is that we're mounting these windows into that aluminum. So the safe in the back, all of these windows, they are permanently set in the infrastructure of this coach. This is going to give you a much quieter ride going down the road. Our subfloor is set on a 3-inch platform. So this tile floor was actually constructed off of the RV. The floor was installed onto the RV first, on top of the Star Foundation, which is our subframe. And then they take the floor and they build the tile floor on a heated pad separate from the coach. It's not an assembly line. We've got a lot of buildings that all specialize in different things like furniture, countertops, cabinets. But when they cook this floor, they literally have it in a controlled environment where it's getting up to a certain temperature and curing, and then they bring it over and they put it down on top of the Luan wood. And that's what's giving you such a quiet ride going down the road. So you've got this great robust subframe, you've got these great walls, and then here you have this big black rainbow. So what this is doing is this is keeping the head of the RV separate from the body. So it's just like your neck. Can you imagine if your neck was fixed? In fact, I think we've all had those days where we wake up and our neck is fixed and we're like, oh my gosh, we can't do anything. We can't look around. We can't. That's what gives this coach the ability to have that beautiful, flexible drive going down the road. This cab with these air ride seats is tracking the same position all the time. This coach in the back, as it starts to wiggle and to waggle and to hit different potholes, this whole thing, you can see this floor moving. It's not connected. It's just the same way you see in these big semi-trucks crossing across the beautiful United States. You see all of these semi-trucks. They're not connected. They are literally separate units, and that's so that they can have that ability to have the house move separately from the chassis. So an important feature, only available in the Newmar. And again, we're going to see a lot more of the new Supreme Airs coming out in that P4 Cascadia chassis. They have a P4 Cascadia 126 and a P4 Cascadia 116 that have just been released. Those are going to be called Supreme Airs moving forward. You can get a Superstar with an M2 112 chassis now as well with the DD13. Again, this is an 8.9 liter Cummins. This has 20,000 pounds of towing capacity. When you get into those Cascadias, I mean, you're moving up to 30,000 pound towing capacity. Anyone who's doing race cars, has big stackers, has heavy boats, those coaches are really made for that instance. And for anybody who's looking for kind of a competition point to, for instance, a Renegade Explorer, we have a new Supreme Air that has a single rear axle in the rear. So one of the benefits, of course, of this Superstar is that's 10,000 pounds lighter. You know, it's got a 7,000 pound weight capacity on top of the 20,000 pound towing capacity. But it's because it doesn't have that twin screw. That twin screw, that second axle, also cuts into your space. So there's a 41-foot Supreme Air available with a single rear axle and a DD13 on the P4 116 chassis that has all of the storage space that you would normally have lost in the Supreme Air in the previous 2025 model year. So like I said, this is a really special, beautiful paint job. They did such a great job with it. We are gonna go outside. I promise you it won't be for very long because yesterday it was 70, so I've already acclimated to springtime. So this throwback into winter is not welcome. But, you know, Saphira's never going to probably see the snow again, so why not have a little bit of snow for her before she takes her maiden voyage out to California? So as we head out here, we're gonna see those decadent steps that I mentioned. This is one of the nicest features of the Superstar. Let me just turn this engine off really quick. Jody, we're gonna start from the front, but I'm gonna turn the engine off. I don't know why I have it on, honestly. Boy, that is loud. It's so funny, you don't hear it inside, but you certainly hear it from outside when she's working. So take a look at this paint job. I mean, it was really fun to get dressed for this video this morning, honestly. I don't think if it wasn't snowing, I could have pulled off an outfit like this. So I'm really happy we have all of these big flakes in the background because it makes my moon boots justified. But over here underneath, this is one of the reasons people buy Super Cs. You have all of this engine out in front of you. You've got this really robust three-piece bumper. This bumper, as you can see, is designed so you could just replace one panel for it. Freightliner does that to mitigate costs. If you have a little oopsie on one side, you don't have to replace the entire bumper cover. Also, you can see that you've got easy access to all of your fluids. That 8.9 liter Cummins right there, that is the marriage of the Freightliner spring leaf suspension in the front, airbags in the rear, right? No airbags in the front. That spring leaf suspension is all black from Freightliner, and then the Cummins is all red. They work in tandem. These coaches come, when you see them, you'll see them with the chassis in all black and the red engine already paired together. Now this is part of that camera system, so your 360 camera is here. And then you've got this beautiful chrome grille. You can get a caliber 9 grille. You could get the American X Racing wheels, but I think in this iterance, I think that this is really the best look for this coach. Now I wanted to show you, as you can see, we got this all white slide, right? Well, that's because that's where the white ends. One of the things that Newmar does is they make these slides and they paint them so that they match the colors of your coach the whole way through. And so you can see here, the whole coach is so seamless. This is a very nice cut and buff, full paint finish. You've got a doorbell here. You've got a touchpad so you don't need to bring your keys with you. Jody, We forgot to put the slides in. We're going back in. Before we go too far, folks, let's just show you what this looks like closed up. We don't have to do the bedroom slide, but let's just do the front. Why don't you go stand in the front and you can show that big slide coming up. I think that's always kind of a neat thing for people to say or to see. Yes, and I'm doing both. And for those of you that are asking, so different coaches have different rules. This coach is assembled on a line that actually the coach is put on a hoverboard, if you will, and it slides sideways down the assembly line. So it is assembled with the coach airbags employed, which means when you put your slides out, you have 4 on the floor. You do not level your coach before you put your slides out. You actually put your slides out first and then level your coach. And when you're going to leave, you turn your coach on, bring your leveling jacks up, and then bring your slides back in. So I get a lot of questions on that. Just wanted to show here, so you've got full access to your bathroom. Lots of room here if you do have a larger pet that needs a place to stay or a doggy bed. There's plenty of room back here for a pooch. And then you can still get into your refrigerator very easily. And you can also vacuum, which is nice. You've got your kick plate here in the center. My kick plate is in my bathroom. Downside to that is I have to pull my bathroom rug when I want to sweep into it. Upside to having a kick plate, oh my gosh, you just need a broom, keep the whole coach clean. But this is your walking space. So as you can see, very easy to be able to get around when you're going down the road. So you can get to the bathroom very easily. This is one of those vents for the hydronic heat. This coach could also have in-floor heating as an option. It's not an option that they chose. Safira does not have in-floor heating. She's gonna go live in Florida where she probably doesn't need in-floor heating. But she could. This is a dual fill. So this is a 100-gallon saddle tank. There's 2 50-gallon tanks. This is the one side. You've got another one that's on the other side, and your def is also fillable on the other side. This little switch here is so that if you are parked, you can still have your air ride seats functional. We've got lots of outlets up here if you want to put your blender in there so you can make some margaritas. Plenty of room to have that run in. We also opted not to do the chrome door handles, so these are painted to match the coach. You can get chrome door handles. You could also get chrome down at the bottom. And for me, I love the look of this coach. I think it looks great without them. There's some more outlets in this compartment, so lots of extra outlets. And then here in the center, we have our slide tray. And again, they already have their Domestics, so they didn't need to have an extra one. And then this is just a nice board where you can hang all of your tools. You also have your fresh tank drain here. And then again, those extra docking lights that we have. And if you look underneath here, this is kind of interesting. So this is part of the cogwheel system. This is how the slide goes in and out. It's really awesome. There's no cords or like pulleys or chains that can stretch out on this slide. It has a cogwheel that has teeth, and one full rotation of the cogwheel is about 1 foot, and it goes into these holes. And so it's a very bulletproof system. I have a lot of people that ask me whether or not we have slide issues on Newmars. I really don't have slide issues on Newmars. Tiffin's, yes. Really, Dynamax, holy mackerel, I've had a ton of those. It just depends on the manufacturer, probably who's using it, how much. But on the Newmars, we really do have a pretty bulletproof slide system. So I think that cogwheel goes into that a lot. Now here you could have an extra slide if you wanted installed here. And then you can see starting in 2025, all of the brains of the operation have moved to this very easily to access control panel. So you can just slide this out, have access to it, and then slide it back in, and it just locks into place right there. Here's the outside attachments for your central vac. And then that little metal hook is because we have above these awnings, or above these windows, you can see over here above the dinette, there's a outdoor awning that you manually deploy. What's nice about that is it can keep the sun out of the coach on a gustier day. So we do have this beautiful awning package up above. But if you wanted to be able to just keep that sun out of one particular part of the coach so it didn't get too warm, you could do that. Now, of course, one of the main features people love about the Superstar isn't just the pass-through storage that you have in the rear of this coach, but also the garage area that you have here in the back, with all of the places to keep your top shelf booze, your mixers, your blender. You could store your table in there. Or you could keep tire shine, or like my boyfriend does, like we have extension cords and like hydronic fluid. So boring. Okay, so right down here, as you can see, large receiver for a 20,000 pound tow hitch. It does come with a ball, it's reversible, so you've got 2 measurements. You've got your 7-pin connector, and then this is actually part of that tire minder system. There's part of your rear view camera or your 360 camera. And again, here's some more access to that pass-through storage. We do have the extra plug in the back, the buddy plug. Great to be able to attach a stacker trailer, some extra tile. But as you can see, and there's your hitches, you can see there's a downsizer that comes with this coach, as well as a reversible ball. So you've got everything that you need there. What did I do with my clipboard, Jody? How did I lose my clipboard? Oh, I put it down, there it is. Okay, sorry guys. Always have to have my clipboard. I don't know why, it's like my security blanket. So this is a great place to be able to keep your gloves, also your gravity hose. If you wanted to keep it in there, you could do that. And then here's this beautiful water bay. This is where we keep our gravity hose. We just keep it right in here. And as you can see, you've got a water access point for a water supply on a power reel, hot and cold water outside. I love that they've taken the new filters and made that a clear container, so you can see if it's kind of gross and it needs to be replaced earlier than you would normally do it. And then as you can also see, you've got your valves are very easy to read. I mean, it's just a great water bay. Lots of room to work in here whenever you get set up at camp. And then here we've got our 8 kilowatt quiet diesel generator. This is, of course, the Cummins generator. Plenty of juice to be able to power up your air conditioners if you're on the road boondocking. And then there are your AGM batteries. And again, you could do a lithionics package with a second inverter that would allow you to run your air conditioner going down the road or overnight while you're camping. And then there's your hydraulic system, as well as your dual loop Oasis Chinook. This is heating your hot water. It's giving you hydronic heat throughout the coach. The dual loop just allows that hydronic fluid. It's an 8-gallon reservoir that heats up an antifreeze that puts the loop underneath the coach, where it pushes air over to give you hydronic heat. That hydronic heating system, when it's dual loop, just doesn't have to go as far, so it's more effective use of heat. That's why they do that. And then up here you've got, of course, your Magnum inverter, as well as your 50-foot power cord, your cable attachment here, and then also your surge protector. Please keep in mind, with this being so far away from the business end of the park, I would always have an extension cord in this coach, because most of the time you'll see these power cords in the rear. Because of that pass-through storage and the wanting to give you the best access to it, we put it up here in the front on the Newmar, but you definitely want to have an extension cord because sometimes it's just hard to get plugged into. This is your side camera. We mentioned earlier the chrome convex mirrors. We're already set up to have a Cobra system if you'd like. And again, this is the new M2 106 Plus. Heated seats, what do they call that stuff that when it holds your back? Lumbar support, yeah, air lumbar support. And then of course these are air ride. And it's a really nice thing. They actually give you about 4 more inches of tilt as well, available in the cab on this model. They started that in 2024 when they went to the Plus, because it was a little bit hard to tilt your seat if you were a tall guy, so you got a little extra room. But again, this is Safira, and she's beautiful. My name's Katie. Let me know how I can help get you on the road and camping, and thanks for tuning in on this spring snowy Colorado day. Talk to you soon.